Welcome to Spirit Talks, because your spirit talks to you.
Hello and welcome to Spirit Talks. I'm Susie Beiler.
And I'm Maximilliam Haver.
Today's Spirit Talk topic is magic.
Thanks for joining us and enjoy.
So Max, I'm really curious about your definition of magic because I know how much you love it.
My definition of magic is bringing forth a thought into action using only your intentions and energy. And that's different from your mundane actions because that's using the body and using that sort of way of acting.
So give us an example.
Well, an example would be telekinesis, where you have that intention, and it's more than a thought. It's an exertion of effort with this energy field, and it's everything is essentially energy. And this is more of like a tactile sort of engagement, sort of like how Reiki is, right? But this engagement of energy allows you to access and use this energy in different ways for different actions. So telekinesis being an example, that you could pull something towards you simply with the intention and that engagement of that energy.
It almost seems like your approach to magic has an element of science.
Well, everything in existence has an element of science because it has a way of being. It exists. It is. So on that aspect, it has qualities. It has conditions. Some are more abstract, some are more concrete, some adhere to form, others to how things interact, even within the spiritual realm. Like you have emotions. Emotions have certain meanings. Emotions have certain ways of connecting. So it all has structure and function, so there's understanding and logic to it. You could call it scientific, but it's more than simply testing hypothesis. It's understanding, it's feeling, it's connecting, it's knowing. So there's more to it than just the intellectual part.
For me, magic has always had this element of mystery.
Mystery is probably stemming from it not being understood. It's a certain kind of energy. It's an expression of energy, but it's still energy.
So why aren't we all doing magic? Why aren't we all teleporting and doing telekinesis and like it has this mystery? Why aren't we all just doing it every day?
Well, I've heard a few different theories on this. There seems to be an underlying root that a lot of people resonate with it. So at some point in time or different lives, we had access to these things. So the question is, what has happened? And there's been stories of some people being able to do these feats here on Earth, but they're far and few between, and usually they're associated with acts of where the mind is not engaged at all. So this would be in acts of emergency where someone or where someone's playing and it sort of just happens, right? There's a few
Right.
stories of these things, or where a particular practitioner has been able to still their mind completely and then access these things.
But what you're talking about is using an intention, so we're using our
Right.
minds to do it.
So it's not only the mind. The mind is part of it. The mind allows you to be conscious in choosing what you're doing. There's an
Right.
unconscious aspect that also is required for it to work.
Is it that we don't have our unconscious developed to do this sort of thing?
It could be development for some individuals, and for others it's connection to that energy, and perhaps it's been sealed. Who knows exactly why this connection was lost. And
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that this connection has been sealed and that's why we're not all doing it?
Well, and the question then becomes, how has it been sealed, right? So
So is that a yes?
There's different theories, right? I believe it has been sealed.
Okay.
since our inherent nature is infinitely unlimited. If you're infinitely unlimited, you can access and do all these things. So in some fashion, it has to have been sealed. So the question is how? A few theories on this is one, that it's simply a rule set of being in this universe and magic cannot be accessed. Another theory is that it's a rule of the hologram that we're coming out of.
Okay.
Part of the projection of a false reality that we reside in is that is one of the limitations. That is a theory. Another theory is that it is a genetic manipulation. So a limitation of the body, of the soul being in this body, is actually limiting their access to these abilities as part of their biology. So these are all different theories, and the truth of it could be more or less complex, or just a simple alternative to such things. But
so you've listed a bunch of theories or possible reasons, but what do you think?
What do I think?
Why do you think that this information has been sealed from us? Do you think that we wouldn't know how to use it properly if we suddenly remembered that we're magical and that we have these powers?
I think that perhaps we did have them, and that is exactly what we did. We misused our powers.
And so is it a punishment? Are we being punished?
I wouldn't call it a punishment. Rather, we're experiencing how valuable things are without it.
So we're being given the opposite experience. We appreciate it more when we do have it?
That, and that we make choices to use it in a constructive way rather than a destructive way.
So when we do remember, it will be like a privilege and we'll have more gratitude for it.
Yes.
Okay.
One of many aspects.
So is there anything else that we can... Well, is there anything that we can do right now to practice magic?
Very good question.
And it almost seems like we're having this conversation based on the assumption that magic is good, where some people might see magic as evil.
I see magic as a tool. This is actually quite similar to how science is a tool, being technological expressions of science.
So it's not good or bad, it's just how we use it.
Yes, and some people will call scientific inventions, such as cell phones and such, magic, but it's an external form and it works with different energies and rules. That's the distinction between them.
My cell phone is magic when it works, and it's not magic when it doesn't work.
Right, but it's functioning on different rules. It's still, it's an external form that does things, but it has a different definition.
It almost seems to me like it's the beginnings of our rememberings of magic.
Right.
Like using technology.
So there's multiple ways to achieve something, to do something. Technology is a way, but it is not the only way. Right? You can use your body to do something. You can use magic to do something. You use technology to do something. You can use other things to do something. Now, we have a limited amount of information of all the possibilities, but those are some of the possibilities.
So is there anything, going back to the question I asked before, is there anything that we can be doing right now to begin our remembering that we are magical beings, that we can do some of these things?
Well, I've seen some people online on YouTube practicing telekinesis using simple little a simple little pin with a tin foil and they try and rotate it. I've seen a few of these examples where they practice it.
Is bending spoons and forks, is that magic?
Using the mind to bend spoons and forks would be considered a form of telekinesis, so yes, it would be considered magic. There's also working with intentions to connect with these energies and have that channel working through your being so that you can access them.
It seems like if we're going there, then whatever might be in us that we need to address in terms of proper use of power, which is a whole other topic, but it seems like it would probably be really wise for us to make sure that we're using our power correctly before we go into a realm like this.
That would be very true. Very true indeed. Working with gratitude and working with receiving guidance for how to use your power, and also understanding from your perspective and from others' perspective how your actions impact things. So
Right.
these are all parts to look at in learning how to use your power in a constructive, beautiful way that assists other beings
For the highest good.
for the highest good.
Now, do you think magic and miracles are the same thing?
I think magic, for a large part, is used during those sudden acts and miracles that save people. I believe there's also varieties where technology is used from higher dimensional beings that have higher forms of technology. So there's multiple avenues in which miracles are performed, at least in that capacity. So yes, I believe magic is used in miracles quite often.
So when we're assisted by our guides or our angels, are they doing magic with us?
Certain ones, certain guides and angels are doing magic. Others are using simply their being, their form, and transferring just energy. Magic is a particular kind of energy, but there's more basic just love and light, which can then be used for other things. So
Where do you think magic comes from?
magic, I believe that essentially the most fundamental thing in existence is light. And the quality of light is love. And this quality goes beyond any sort of mundane scientific understanding of it. It's the spiritual substance of existence. And within this, there is wisdom that comes from love. A wisdom energy, but also a wisdom intellect, and everything that could ever be comprised is within that wisdom. And within that wisdom is this access to how to navigate anything that is constructed from the substance, which is magic. And there's other varieties of that expression, which is within power, right? But magic, I think, is one of those fundamental energies that stem from love.
So with that definition, do you think the earth was created using magic?
It's possible that Earth was created using magic, but it's also possible that it was created with the fundamental force of love and light.
Right.
So, which expression of it was it? I don't know. But either way, here we are.
Well, I invite those of you listening to experiment with magic in your own lives. And what does magic mean to you? I've found myself putting the word magic and miracles together a lot, because miracle kind of means one thing to me and magic means something slightly different, but together it's like maybe an amplified effect of the both of them. So Is there anything else you wanted to say about magic?
If you feel you have a strong passion for magic, follow it. Because magic
Yes.
is a fundamental part of many things. And though we have not experienced the external experience of magic, there's still an internal expression which we try our best to express through art. We express it through painting and dance and all sorts of cinema. So there are expressions that resonate with that energy, and to allow yourself to really engage with it, because it does nourish a fundamental part of you if that's what you resonate with.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Can people who don't resonate with magic cultivate that? Like, even if they don't have a huge passion, can they cultivate their ability to do magic or their desire for magic? Or is that something that's like inherent within you? You either like gravitate towards it or you don't.
Right. So I could ask a simple question is, can someone cultivate themselves to enjoy playing music or dancing? I mean, you can make yourself do these things and you can explore these things, but if it doesn't resonate with you, I don't know if you
What's
can.
the point?
I don't know if forcing it is worth your time.
Right. Okay.
Because then it becomes more about your ego trying to make something true about yourself rather than simply connecting what is true about yourself.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking about magic with me. And for the record, I think you are magic.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a beautiful, magical day, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Much love to you all. Have a wonderful time.